Hey everyone, it's Josh again. This is going to be episode 2 of a series that I'm starting to do here on YouTube, highlighting sort of an introduction and a journey into the RV transport industry from a sort of a newbie perspective. I'm not a driver. I don't have a career in driving, so this is kind of a series on getting into it, and hopefully it could be of value and some help to some others out there that are maybe considering getting into this. I know that when I was looking at doing this, oh, by the way, I'm going to try to date and timestamp these on the video so that you know when it is, even though the published date doesn't always reflect when the video was actually taken. So it is Wednesday, March 28th, 2018. Anyway, so when I started doing this, or started looking into doing this, of course, like most of you probably went onto YouTube, and there's really not a lot on there with regards to RV transportation. There is all kinds of videos, you know, for trucking in general, but I wanted to learn more specifically about the RV transportation and how to get into it and what it was going to look like and so forth. And I came across another guy on YouTube that did start a series similar to this. However, it seemed as though shortly after getting started, the videos, he had sort of moved in a different direction, and although I think he was still transporting RVs, it was more for a RV dealership and not for a transportation company. So it started out good for me, and then it kind of sort of drifted away into something different. And so what I wanted to do was sort of take that lead. It was helpful, that gentleman who did those series of videos, I found it to be helpful, and I did glean a lot of good stuff from it, at least in the beginning there, and then it kind of, like I said, it kind of drifted into his circumstances, which did not stay with a transportation company. So I wanted to sort of follow that lead and so forth. So this video, what I'm going to talk about is getting started. The episode 1 was really just a quick introduction about me, who I am, where I'm from, a little bit of that kind of stuff and my background. And this one I wanted to talk a little bit about you know, the steps to getting started. I'm currently on my way. I'm on my run number 3. This is my 3rd pull, if you will, on my way to Kansas City, Missouri. It's about a 600-mile trek, and I plan to be there tonight and then spend the night and then deliver this first thing in the morning and then head back to Elkhart. By the way, Elkhart is sort of the hub for the RV industry. Through my research, it seems as though about 85% of all motorhomes and trailers, enclosed trailers, and campers, and all that kind of stuff is out of Elkhart, Indiana, or that general area, Goshen and Middlebury and all that. Basically, that area. So that's kind of the hub of this industry. So anyway, so getting started. One of the things I would tell anyone who was thinking about doing this, and again, this is my experience, and it's also my experience with this particular company that I'm with. Now, there may be some slight variations with, you know, different companies. There are probably, I mean, I've seen a handful of companies already. I mean, it's just there's got to be 100 transportation companies that do this up in that area. But I can only speak to the experience that I've had with the company I'm with. So if some of this is slightly inaccurate, I'm just basing it on what I've dealt with. One thing I would tell anyone that's considering doing this or wants to, look at getting into it is get your DOT physical. That is a critical part of this, and it is a showstopper. As far as if you can't pass a DOT physical, you're probably not going to get hired on with anybody. That's my assumption, but I think that would be a logical first step before you spin your wheels or spend a lot of time going down this avenue. Go get a DOT physical done, and make sure that you're medically qualified and there's no hang-ups to that regard. What I did was I did a Google search in my area where I live, and I just did DOT medical physical. Found a clinic in my area, paid $75, and got that knocked out. And once I had that, then I knew that I could, at least I had that taken care of. That's really, as far as I can remember, that's really the only showstopper. Everything else, you may have to jump through some hoops here and there, but I would start there, because you could do a bunch of other stuff and then find out that you're not medically cleared to drive as a professional driver, and then you've kind of wasted some time. So I would get that knocked out first and foremost. Let's see. After that, I just had a regular driver's license with just a regular civilian, or not civilian, but regular passenger car driver's license. I do have a motorcycle endorsement, but that doesn't do any good for this job. But one thing I did have to do was I had to go get an F endorsement. F for Frank. It was a for hire endorsement. That was a prerequisite. That is not a hard endorsement. It was a written test. Now it may be different in your state. I can only speak for my state, which is Tennessee. It was you go down to the driving services center, or the DMV, and you basically take a written test. I think it was 20 or 25 questions. It was similar to the written test you take when you first get your driver's license. It really wasn't that hard. And then you get an F endorsement, meaning you can be hired to drive. And really that was it, to sort of some of the prerequisites. And then I had reached out to this company, and I would say that most of them have, at least from what I've seen so far, most of them have a hiring number or a recruiter number that you can call and tell them you're interested, and then they'll probably ask you a series of questions. Some of them even have it where you can go online and fill out the application, which is what I did. I actually did the application online, and I gave it a day or two, and then I called just to make sure they had received my packet, and then it was on from there. So the company I ended up getting hired with, during that hiring process, there was a lot of back and forth. There's like I said, there's things you've got to jump through, and they basically, you provide them information, you send it in, and then they say, okay, I still need this, and all that. So there's a little bit of back and forth, but it really wasn't anything too much. They do ask if you have any experience in driving. All my experience was personal, because I haven't, like I said, I'm not a trucker. I don't have any professional experience, but I've owned motorhomes, and I've pulled trailers, and so you have to sort of document your experience. They want to see a certain amount of miles on your application. Now, I don't think there was any way to really verify it, but you did have to put it on there. So I had put down, I think they want to see somewhere around 20,000 miles of experience in what it is you're going to be doing. So for me, well, let me back up just a minute. The companies, or at least this company, had different divisions. They had a division called Towaway, which you can go on and look at these videos yourself, but basically Towaway is where you get in a vehicle like a Class A or a Class C motorhome, and you get in it and then deliver it to the to the dealer, wherever that dealer may be around the country, and then you have to sort of find your way back to Elkhart, and then you grab another one and do it all over again. And then there's the Towaway Division, which is what I was kind of signing up for, what I was interested in. And that's where you use your own vehicle. And I'll talk about vehicles and the actual truck and all that probably on a later episode. But anyway, that was the division that I was going to sign up for. So I had to document, or at least write on the application that I had, I think 20,000 miles worth of experience pulling campers and pulling fifth wheels and so forth. So just keep that in mind. You've got to put on your application some level of experience. And again, I'm not sure how they actually verify it. I don't think there is a way to verify it. Nobody asked for anything more than that. You just had to tell them what your experience level was, and that was what mine was. But as long as you hit that number they're looking for, I think you'll probably be all right. And then the third division is called a haul away, or tow and haul. And basically, that's where you're starting to get up there, where you're not just transporting one unit at a time like you would in the Towaway Division. You know, a towaway, you're using your 3/4 ton or above truck, and you're either hooking up bumper pull or pintle or a fifth wheel or gooseneck. That's the towaway, and you're only going to be toting one unit, one camper at a time. The haul away, or the tow and haul division, is where you can move multiple units at a time. I've seen some pretty elaborate setups just in the few weeks I've been around this, and you know, I've seen semis with these 53-foot trailers that are kind of specialized for hauling RVs. You know, most of them, or they all have this center channel up the middle of the trailer, and that's meant for pulling these trailers up onto the deck with a winch. And so anyway, that division is a lot more involved, but obviously the more you can carry, your initial investment is going to be a lot more, but I would imagine that you would be able to make a bit more money since you're hauling 2 or 3 at a time versus just one. But anyway, that is kind of a quick snapshot. Again, I'm going to try to keep these videos to somewhere around that 10 to 15 minute mark, just so that you're not having to waste a lot of your day, watching an hour-long video. I'll try to keep these short and sweet and very relevant. I'm at 13 minutes now, so I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this episode up. Again, if you've got any specific questions, that will help me kind of drive the videos, because I want to touch on things that are relevant, like things that you want to hear about. If you want to talk about the money, I'm happy to talk about the money. If you want to talk about, exactly what does your truck need to have, or what does it need to look like, I'm happy to drill down on those specifics. But if that's something you're after, just put it down in the comments section, and that'll help drive the topics that I address in these videos. Otherwise, I'm kind of freewheeling a little bit, which is okay, I'm sure. In the beginning, just getting started, and I don't know if anybody's even watching these anyway. So, but I guess time will tell. But anyway, that's it for now, and hope to see you guys again soon. Take care. Out here.